Please stand by.
Loading. Loading complete.
30,
29, 28,
27,
26,
25, 24,
20,
22,
21, 20, 19, 18,
17,
16, 15, 14, 13,
12,
11, 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4,
2,
1. Now for what you've all been waiting for.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Good morning, good day, good evening, good night, good whatever it happens to be where you are. And hello to everybody who watches this in the future. Well, today, I actually was completely unprepared for today. Yes, my autistic squirrel brain decided to go down in a rabbit hole and hyper focus on Gundam all week, so that's what you're getting. Let's see, we have in the chat, so people in the chat. FKH HC 2005, Big Dave K, and My Unfinished Journey. Hello, thank you for showing up. Well, I do hope you enjoy whatever I can throw at the wall, and hopefully you will stick. Let's get to the song. Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun? Not much money, yo, but honey, ain't we got fun? The rent's unpaid, dear, we haven't a bus. Smiles were made, dear, for people like us. In the winter, in the summer, don't we have fun? Times are bumming, getting bummer, still we have fun. There's nothing sure, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Tax collectors getting closer, still we have fun. Tons of cares, dear, come in pairs, dear, don't we have fun? We've only started, no, we're not downhearted. When I'm laid off, I'll be paid off, ain't we got fun? Landslord's mad and getting madder, ain't we got fun? Times are bad and getting badder, still we have fun. There's nothing sure, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? I hope we have fun today. Oh, how about we get to one more song from the wheel? If I can click the right button. Here we are. What do we got on the wheel today? April showers. When April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So when it's raining, have no regrets. 'Cause it isn't raining rain, you know it's raining violets. And when you see clouds up on a hill, you know that there'll be crowds of daffodils. So just keep looking for a bluebird and listening for his song whenever April showers come along. And when you see clouds up on a hill, you know that there'll be crowds of daffodils. So just keep looking for a bluebird and listening for his song whenever April showers come along. I have no idea if I'm even in right tune tonight. So, for anyone who's new out there, I don't know if I have anyone new out there. Just remember, you gotta bring your earplugs for the show. Oh, let's see here. We'll do one more song and we can get into a topic. So, also is the wheel gonna give us? Must have been a beautiful baby. Okay, that's a good one. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child when you were only starting to go to kindergarten. I bet you drove the little boys wild. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the other kids how. I can see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize. You must have made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause baby, look at you now. Does your mother realize Stork delivered quite a prize the day he left you on the family tree? Does your dad appreciate that you're merely super great? The miracle of any century. If they don't, just send them both to me. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child when you were only starting to go to kindergarten. I bet you drove the little boys wild. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the other kids how. I can see the judge's eyes as you hand the prize. I bet you made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause baby, look at you now. Yeah, screwed that one up. Worried about being in tune? Just change your spark plugs. Yes, I'm not quite sure where the spark plugs go though. Excuse me. Let's see where here. Well, first off, let's do a send off for somebody who has passed. This one, unless you're really into the whole Japanese scene with Super Sentai and all that, you probably won't recognize this one. But still. Saint Seiya and Super Sentai singer Nobuo Yamada Nob has passed away. And I just love how we've gotten to this fashion of putting light gray text on a white background, and makes it a hell of a lot harder to read. So, that didn't help much, but oh well. Music production company Mojust announced that singer Nobuo Yamada, also known as Nob, has passed away. He was 61 years old. The singer passed away on August 9th at 1:39 p.m. after his long battle against kidney cancer in a hospital. Ooh. In the official statement, they stated to respect the feelings of his family and refrain him from visiting their home to pay respects, or from interviews. A farewell gathering will be held for fans at a later date. Details about it will be revealed once it, once the details have been decided. Born on January 20th, 1964, Yamada was former lead vocalist of the band in Makeup, in which she performed Saint Seiya's opening theme in Pegasus Fantasy, and the ending theme, Blue Forever. Aside from Saint Seiya, he also performed the theme songs for the Super Sentai series, most notably Gogo Sentai Baken Ninja, Tensu Sentai Gosi Ninja, and Super Sentai Strongest Battle. Actually, one I can pronounce and be confident about. Uh, he also performed the theme song of Kamen Rider, or Amazon and Last Judgment in film. Uh, from all of us here, thank you for the memories. So, not bad headline of credits there. I guess we can give him a nice little send off. Let's see here, what would be appropriate? I guess we can do the parting glass. Of all the money that I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whatever befall, and gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it fell unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whatever befall, and gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. But since it has so ought to be, by a time to rise and a time to fall, come fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you all. So that was the send off for him. Let's get into another song from On the Wheel. What do I do? Just as you say. Why must I give you your way? Why do I sigh? Why don't I try to forget? Must have been that something lovers call fate kept on saying I had to wait. I saw them all, just couldn't fall till we met. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be true and make me be blue and even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I meet might never be mean, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do when nobody else gave me a thrill. For all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Seems like dreams, like I always had. Could be, should be, making me glad. Why am I blue? It's up to you to explain. Maybe, baby, I'll go away, and someday, some way, you'll come and say, it had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be true and make me be blue and even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I meet might never be mean, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do, for nobody else gave me a thrill. For all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Hell, if I haven't driven everybody off with that yet, let's do one more. Yeah, nice short one. Me and my shadow. Me and my shadow strolling down the avenue. Me and my shadow, not a soul to tell our troubles to. And when it's 12 o'clock, we climb the stairs. We never knock, 'cause no one's there. Just me and my shadow, all alone and feeling blue. Yeah, it's a short one. So, on to a little bit of the main topic here. Gundam. What is this? Well, the Gundam franchise was created by Yoshi Yuyuki Tomino. Oh, hope I'm pronouncing that right. And is in with Sunrise in 1979. The company Sunrise in 1979. Uh, it's considered to be a cornerstone of mech anime, a blending giant robot battles with deep social political narratives. Set across various timelines or universes, with the main one being the Universe Century, which kicked it all. Actually, wait, no, it's not right. Yeah, the Universe Century, he was the one that kicked it all off. That's right. It explores themes of war, humanity, technologies, impact through the lens of piloted and mobile suits, with the titular Gundam often symbolizing hope or power. From its groundbreaking debut with Mobile Suit Gundam to its sprawling multiverse of sequels, spin-offs, and alternate universes like the Universe Century and Gundam Wing timelines, Gundam has shaped anime culture and inspired global fandom. It's mixed of intense mech action, complex characters, and philosophical questions about how conflict and coexistence has kept it relevant for over 4 decades. I want to say 40 decades. Um, with merchandise, games, and mobile kit, it's called Gunpla, fueling a massive cultural footprint. Now, as we said, the first one that kind of kicked it all off was Mobile Suit Gundam. And that was released in 1979, so it's about as old as I am. Came out a little earlier in the year than I did, of course, though. Mobile Suit Gundam, the original series, revolutionized anime with its realistic take on mecha. Well, semi-realistic, I guess. Set in the Universe Century, you see the 0079. It follows teenager Amuro Ray, who becomes a pilot of the RX-78-2 Gundam, a powerful mobile suit who amid a war between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Zeon. Unlike earlier mech shows with simplistic good versus evil narratives, it portrayed war's moral ambiguity, with both sides showing heroism and flaws, which is a huge strength to this show. Excuse me. Excuse me about that. Amuro's growth from reluctant pilot to war-weary hero, alongside a rich character who's like rival Char as in Bowl, will set a high bar for storytelling. As one that is I'm not even quite sure it's really even topped, honestly, as far as other Gundam shows go. Then again, I haven't watched all of them. I'm up to. I'm really right now. I'm watching through the ones that are dubbed, so I'm skipping over the ones that were never dubbed, and I'll get back to those later because they take me a lot longer to get through. And currently, I'm on Gundam Seed. Anyway, back to the article here. It's detailed animation, and despite budget constraints and focus on the human cost of conflict, made it a cultural phenomena, spawning the UC timeline and the Gunpla craze. yeah, there's a bunch of other shows that are set in the same timeline, and where most of the other timelines tend to only have maybe one series in a movie, or so it's interesting that way. Uh, oh, Eating Granny, hello. Ah, shoot, hang on, I got some crud in my throat or something. Yeah, so if I can get it out with some whiskey. Ah. So, that's a general overview of Gundam itself. You you said there's a huge number of other spin-offs. And the one that America was first introduced to was Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, which also introduced what many refer to as the Gundam Boys. As it featured five main characters all around teenage boys, kind of like a boy band, which was starting to become popular around the time this show was released in the U.S. Our main protagonist is Hiro Yui, who happens to have the personality of a plank of wood. And he ends up crashing to Earth and meeting Relina Darlia, or Relina Peacecraft, who finds him after he crashes, and he says he's going to kill her. So of course she obviously he falls head over heels with her, and has some emotional range comparable to that of a Twilight movie. So after back and forth of everybody threatening to kill each other and kill themselves and completely failing to do so until the very end when somebody finally does kill the person that you've been dead set on trying to kill the entire series, and then they cry about it and are all upset because they actually didn't think they'd win. Yeah, I know I'm not really selling the series very well. So let's see what the article gave me. You have to say. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing brought Gundam into a global audience, particularly in the West. As to though its 1995 debut in Toonami airings. Set in the After Colony AC timeline, it follows. Jeez, what's with my throat today? It follows those five young pilots: Hiro, Duo, Troa, Quadratra, and Wifei, who pilot advanced Gundam to fight for space colonies. He's independent against an oppressive Earth government. Known for its sleek designs, political intrigue, and angst-driven in characters. That's an understatement there. Definitely teenage angst behavior. Wing appeal to younger audience with its brooding protagonist and high stakes action. Interestingly enough, it also had a very high young adult female following, which I guess shouldn't be that surprising considering the parallels I can give it to Twilight with the way the characters behave. The series balances themes of pacifism and rebellion, and with memorable moment and like Hero's relentless stoicism and the Gundam's iconic designs. Gundam Wing's bird-like transformation is popular to introduce as many to Gundam, making it a gateway series is for your light. So now I do kind of fault some of the stories in retrospect, and I just binge through the rest of this is early in the week. But to be honest, it's still worth watch, and it still has some of my favorite Gundam designs to it as well. Particularly the movie the adaptation in designs from Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which is also can be watched as a set of OVAs. These bitches, so you can either watch it as a full movie or watch it as like 3 or 4 shorts. And that has the Gundam with the kind of these wings from there's the XXXG the 00WO Wing Gundam Zero, which looks like this. Or this is the design from the series that you're looking at. But they redesigned all the Gundams for the movie, and the new design for it looks like this, which is the one that I personally love. The sort of mechanical wings, things like it. I've been wanting to batch this thing into what I refer to as the Angel Gundam, but I'll get into a little bit of that later. Yeah, let's not close my StreamYards tab. So the other one that really kind of stuck out to me as far as designs go is the heavy arms from the series. Of course, there's the Gundam and Death Sights. Let's look at the heavy arms first. Now, I guess we'll look at the second heavy arms design from the series first. So, not really much difference in design, overall from its original. Actually, okay, that does appear to be the original design right there. Why did it give me the original design there? Hold on, let me see if I can. Okay, that is the original design. Let's look at the heavy arms custom. Anyway, this give you a good idea of what the difference is here. Okay, so the original, basically the custom version, or the second version of it, this basically adds another Gatling gun barrel to the shield. But the movie version completely redesigned it. giving us this pretty cool little color variant, and made the Gatling guns a hell of a lot bigger. It actually carries two of them. And it adds a bunch more missiles on it. Let's see if I can find one of these shots of it with its missiles displayed. Here we are. Little box art for it. You can see how the missile little pods open up on the forearms, on the legs, and that's the pilot there. And it has more Gatling guns in the chest. The original version of it, not the movie version, had just two in the chest rather than four. But this guy, along with this guy, is basically your fuck everything in that direction in type of Gundam. He's been kind of a basis of one of my own Franking Gundams, which I've titled the Artillery Gundam. Yeah, I figured out how to add about another dozen missiles to the thing, along with a bunch of other weapons. Let's look at the death sights as well. So this is the original death sights when it was first introduced, I think. Yeah. And then, of course, that one ended up being destroyed during the series and was replaced by this guy here with more Batwing-like design. And finally, the movie version goes full out with the wing design and with that design there. Now, this one mostly focused on stealth, using a beam scythe. So it's basically a scythe with the blade being an energy beam, sort of like a lightsaber kind of thing. They use these beam sabers as well, which are basically lightsabers as in this series. It gives you something of an idea of the series. Of course, everybody has always wondered, where does the Gundam the Wing Gundam store that massive ass gun of it that carries around? Well, it turns out the gun can actually fold up and be stored in the wings themselves. There were some jokes of the gun being stored someplace else, also on the Gundam. So, Dual Maxwell, the one who piloted the Death Sight, it was probably the one that was more comedic. It can actually had some kind of personality to him. How about we get to another song now, before I bore everybody else out of their mind and with me just rambling on here. I love you truly. I love you truly, truly, dear. Life with its sorrow, life with its tear, fade into dreams when I feel you near. For I love you truly, truly, dear. Our love, 'tis something to feel your kind hand. Ah, yes, 'tis something by your side to stand. Gone is the sorrow, gone doubt and fear, for you love me truly, truly, dear. And do one more song. Putting on the Ritz. It's Have you seen the well-to-do up on Lexing Avenue, on the famous thoroughfare, with their noses in the air? High hats and narrow collars, white spats and $15, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem Blitz? Putting on the Ritz. Spangled gowns upon the devy of highbrows from down the levee, all misfits, putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem Blitz? Putting on the Ritz. Spangled gowns upon the devy of highbrows from down the levee, ye all misfits. Putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz. Come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz, putting on the Ritz. Okay, man, let's do one more. Just missing that Henry VIII. Genie with the light brown hair. Okay. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, born like a vapor on the summer air. I see her tripping where the bright streams play, happy as the daisies that dance on her way. Many were the wild notes her merry voice would pour, many were the blithe birds that warbled the moor. Oh, I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. I long for Jeannie with a day dawn smile, radiant in gladness, warm with winning guile. I hear her melodies like joys gone by, sighing round the heart. Oh, the fond hopes that die, sighing like the night wind, sobbing like the rain, wailing for the lost one that comes not again. Oh, I long for Jeannie, and my heart bows low, never more to find her where the bright waters flow. I sigh for Jeannie, but her light form stray far from the fond hearts around her native glade. Her smiles have vanished, her sweet songs flown, flitting like the dreams that have cheered us and gone. Now the nutting wildflowers may wither on the shore, while her gentle fingers will cull them no more. Oh, I sigh for Jeannie, with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. Well, getting into another topic. Just to break things up just a little bit here. So, let's see here. Another Bo Tomato post. Actually, I can't remember if I read the last one he had set aside last week. But yep, I was told this in a phone call after episode 5 premiered. This for X-Men '97. I asked the executive Kevin and was happy because stupidly I still wanted to help the studio out. Their response was a long pause. Then I was told that he'd be happier if fans and audiences weren't using it as a referendum on what the MCU needs to be doing to fix itself. What makes it worse, I think, is that Kevin has nothing to do with the X-Men '97 and could take no credit for it, even internally. Before the show aired, Marvel employees were reaching out to me asking how I was able to make a show this good given where the studio was, and how it's the best thing the studio had done. With their praise, I noticed more and more that I was becoming a threat and regret to studio leadership. And again, Kevin and Lowe couldn't even be bothered to come to the premiere of the show with the El Capitan, and they didn't show up to thank the fans. They didn't show up to thank X-Men in TSA, the Law Lee Walds in Houston, or the OG voice cast. For how they built the foundation back in the '90s of the MCU. Nope, we were just a little cartoon that wasn't sexy enough for taken seriously enough to warrant the great Kevin Feige to attend. And that was in response to this article on MCU Direct. Fired X-Men '97 showrunner Bo DeMayo, who has alleged that Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige resented the show because fans were using it as a referendum on how the MCU was failing. Yeah, apparently, I have heard some claims that that they actually try to avoid hiring fans and people who are familiar with the content to write these shows, which, if that's true, may explain quite a lot. Another post I had read from Bone de Mayo is that a lot of these higher ups don't actually read any of the source material. They have somebody else read it for them, and then they just kind of summarize it for them. I already did putting on the Ritz. So now I'm not too sure. I think he might be in some kind of legal battle with the Marvel and Disney too. So see how what goes on with that. Is the official statement is that Mayo did some sexual harassment stuff, and it's the reason why he was fired just before the premiere of X-Men '97. But he claims that that isn't the reason. That it was due to racial and discrimination and due to the fact that he's gay. We'll see. And if that is the reason why he was actually fired behind the scenes, then yeah, he definitely is in the right to seek legal pursuit on that. Do. Do you? Helps you do. I was oh so blue till you came along, just to make my life a wonderful song. You brought sunshine just to brighten my loneliness. Sit any wonder in my happiness, I confess. Do I want you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did I do? Do I need you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did I do? I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did I do? There are lots of others that I have met. Those you meet today, tomorrow regret. You're the only one who ever could stand the test. That's the reason why I choose you from the rest. You're the best. Do I want you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did I do? Do I need you? Oh my, do I? Honey, did I do? What was that one that got bumped by Genie Fight Brown and hair? Oh, that was Henry VIII, and it got bumped twice. Let's see here. What else we got here? This may be a short show today. There's a hole in the bucket. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. Then patch it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then patch it, dear Henry, patch it. With what shall I patch it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I patch it, dear Liza? With what? With straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With straw, dear Henry, with straw. The straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, dear Liza, too long. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, cut it. With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it, dear Liza? With what? With a knife, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a knife, dear Henry, a knife. The knife is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. The knife is too dull, dear Liza, too dull. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, sharpen it. With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza? With what? With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a stone, dear Henry, a stone. The stone is too dry, dear Liza, dear Liza. The stone is too dry, dear Liza, too dry. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then wet it, dear Henry, wet it. With what shall I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I wet it, dear Liza? With what? With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water, dear Henry, with water. With what shall I fetch it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I fetch it, dear Liza? With what? With a bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a bucket, dear Henry, a bucket. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. But not to worry. He peed on a stone, sharpened his knife, cut his straw, and patched his bucket. The water never quite tasted the same again. He's pretty useless without Liza there, don't you think? Shrubby, 1989. Hello. Nice to have you here. You've got unsubscribed. Oh. Well, I guess I should be glad enough, be happy enough that I've grown at least large enough to have people getting unsubscribed to me. Now, oddly enough, I end up getting the opposite problem with YouTube for some reason, and I end up being subscribed to channels that I never subscribed to. So I'm scrolling through my feed, and all of a sudden I see this channel that I've never subscribed to before, and I'm just wondering where'd that come from. I know I did not subscribe to. There are channels that I did not subscribe to that I got subscribed to because I was one, and there's one that was subscribed to. I am subscribed called the Channel Awesome, and then I just clicked on one of their videos. And it's kind of played like for a few seconds, and I was subscribed back to it again. I never clicked the subscribe button and to resubscribe. Kind of wish I had that option, huh? Well, moving on to more Gundam. Next up is probably one of my favorite. It's on the whole thing is Mobile Suit Gundam 00. It's in Anno Domini or AD timeline. It's a modern and standout, blending in contemporary global issues with Gundam's signature war drama. Airing in 2007, and it followed Celestial Being, a private paramilitary group with 4 Gundams, and aimed to end global conflict through targeted interventions. Led by the enigmatic Setsu F. Seiya, the team confronts the world divided by 3 superpowers, is tackling themes like terrorism, energy crises and ideological extremism. Its animation with crisp mech designs and fluid battles will set a new visual standard. While its narrative explores the moral costs of enforced peace. The series is has two seasons, and the movie he offer a complete arc with strong character development, especially for Setsu and his rival Graham Ecker. And like I said, this was one of my personal favorites. Yeah, YouTube is an asshole. That's true. Though some of the dialogue is a little janky. Yeah, in fact, I'm using the main line for the title of this show. I am Gundam, which is something that sets him is ad nauseum. Another thing that I thought was pretty janky with the dialogue was the whole concept of the quantum brainwaves is for their version of new types. Which sounded very buzzwordy the way it was put, at least in the dubs. Maybe it sounded a little bit different with the raw Japanese. Who knows? I guess anybody who actually watched in Japanese would know and actually can understand Japanese. Unlike me, who has to rely on and listening to dubs because I can't follow the subtitles and watch action in anime at the same time, which means I usually have to watch the same episode at least twice to catch everything. Kind of sucks, especially considering that the dubs don't always do the stuff justice. Then again, nowadays the subtitles don't always do the stuff justice either. So it's kind of a coin toss unless you're learning in Japanese and watching the original. Well, that way. But one of his end in game Gundams in the series was the GNT 0000 Quant, and I really like the backpack on this thing. So that's that thing there. It uses a twin GN drive, which was a major aspect of the whole series with these GN drives. They had the true GN drive, which was basically a semi-perpetual motion for energy, giving them an inexhaustible source. The particles would also block radar and other sensor detection devices, making them very stealthy Gundams as well. These things also had something called a Trans-Am system, which the Gundam would glow red and use up most of its stored energy, and kind of leave it kind of a bit depleted after about 79 seconds of running in the thing. And this particular guy was a basis of one of my own designs. Just got blasted by my own show here. Sorry about that. All right, let's blow this up a little bit so you can see a little better. So I used to play the Gundam Breaker mobile game on my phone until he discontinued the game. Marcelo Lopez says hello. Thank you for joining. Hello, nice to have you. At any rate, I used to play the Gundam Breaker mobile game before they discontinued it, which I'm still kind of upset about. It was a really fun game. I took a few screenshots of some of the Gundams I made in that game, and here's one of them. Let's see if I can get full screen with that. So this one, and I just called it the 00FX, since it was essentially a cross between the Gundams from Gundam 00 and the FX Gundam from the series Mobile Suit Gundam Age. And I was always pretty happy how this turned out. It turned out this ended up being my main Gundam to use in the game. I also designed one that was supposed to be more of a female Gundam. I kind of had to. The design itself didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to, because I had to take certain parts to get the skills I wanted. And I don't know, I just couldn't quite get the design in right from how I was picturing it in my head. But the head of this thing is from the G Self Gundam, and the body is what was the body from again? Let's see here. The body was from the I'm blanking on it. Oh, Gundam. It was the Gundam X one, I think. No, it wasn't Gundam X. Shoot. Don't you hate when you just kind of blank out and stuff in the middle of your presentation? Come on, I know you. Which one was it? Yeah. Tornado Gundam. That was it. How could I forget that? No, I know. It's because this is one of those Gundams that was never dubbed, so I have it on the back burners. Still one I'd recommend watching. Of course, I colored it this nice dark purple little color. The gun itself is not quite how I pictured. Neither are the arms, but I got the skills of it pretty much down. So it had the moonlight butterfly. It had the beginning in 30 Gundam's wings, or flying design. That's so basically I had a lot of the designs I was going for. And just kind of scoot that back a little bit. There we are. Yeah. This is the one I designed. I kind of nicknamed the Artillery Gundam, based on the Gundam Heavy Arms custom build. I ended up giving it a different chest piece rather than the Gatling gun in chest. This one had a nice skill to it, with basically dropped an entire nuclear bomb on the entire field. They had the Gatling gun, a beam rifle, which in the design I actually have in my head, it is actually some kind of railgun and beam rifle cross hybrid. But it had the missile pod shoulders that I wanted. The head actually is from a different concept I had for it, but it kind of works here. So, everything is a little bit off because I'm just kit bashing in the Gundams and recoloring everything. But if I was to actually draw them out, they'd have a little bit more different. They'd have different parts here and there. But the way I picture the artillery Gundam in my head, it is the pilot was asked what weapons do you want on your Gundam, and the pilot said yes. So I've been kind of working on some of my own Franken Gundams this past week. Guess I can get into a little bit of those, and this also gets into my own little fanfic. And hopefully, if once I get this outline, everything outlined, I can and get my mind on other things and actually focus on something. Okay, here we are at the top. Well, actually, let's start with okay. My main Gundam from the game, in the 00FX, I added a skill that gave it the Transam raid skill, and the another skill from the Gundam age setting, which caused the thing to turn in a red color and a blue color respectively. Which means I referred to this thing, the two color shifts, giving it different boosts, red shift and blue shift, in my own head. So I decided while I was working on all this, I'd need to recreate this, and I put it through Grok and kind of worked out how it might actually work on my own design Gundam. And what I came up with, along with the help of Grok, was the dual phase shift system. This is sort of a replacement to the Transam system. The DPESS leverages his Jin particles output to power two completely complementary modes. Redshift mode, high-speed offensive mode capable of producing quantum afterimages through sheer speed and short-range quantum teleportation. Throwing in a lot of the quantum this and quantum that from Gundam 00. The Gundam glows red with glowing particle trails, looking visually similar to the Transam system. The Gian particle will supercharge thrusters, boosting speed and maneuverability by 2x of the baseline, whereas you would have a 3x to 7x with the Transam system. This was designed to be a more economical version of it, enabling rapid dashes and fluid dodging. Combined in with teleportation, and this makes the Gundam nearly untouchable. GN Beam Saber, whose rifles and other weapons gain increased output. Sharper or longer saber, there's higher velocity beam, and yada yada. Multi-port Ven and submit focused beam saber, there's for precision melee strikes or short range projectiles. Complementing the teleportation for hit and run and tactics. Now, the blue shift mode turns the Gundam into a fortified, destructive juggernaut, weaponizing its Jin in field and multi-port beam saber is into a chaotic wrecking ball. This obliterates enemies while shrugging off attacks. The Gundam glows blue, surrounded by a turbulent and shimmering GN field. The GN field is compressed into a dense, multi-layered barrier, absorbing beam and physical attacks with high resistance. It mitigates most incoming damage, protecting the Gundam under heavy fire. GM particles reinforce the frame, granting unflinching status to to resist stagger, knocking back, or mobility disruptions. This ensures the Gundam holds position in chaotic battles, and basically it flings itself at the enemy. The GN in the field becomes volatile while pulsating with GN particle energy. The multi-port vents again emit GM beam sabers, creating a wrecking ball effect. Think basically a spiked ball that increases damage to any enemy the Gundam runs into. This turns the Gundam into an unstoppable, immovable juggernaut. Both modes last about 60 seconds and require a 60-second cooldown time before they can be reactivated or switch between modes. So that's kind of what was going through my head when I was playing the game. Okay, there we are. Sorry about that, looking at a blank screen the whole time. So let's do another song from the wheel. Hello, my baby. I've got a little baby, she's out of sight. I talk to her across the telephone. Haven't seen my honey, but she's mine, alright. So take my tip and leave this gal alone. Every single morning you can hear me yell, "Hey, Central, fix me up across the line." He connects me with my honey, then I ring the bell. And this is what I say to baby mine. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own. Hello, hello, baby. Guess you don't hear me. The wires must be crossed somewhere. Hello, hello, I said hello. This morning through the phone, she said her name's Bess. But I kind of know where I am at. I'm says 5, you got my babe's dress. You're pasted in the lining of my hat. I'm mighty scared if the wires get crossed, it'll separate me from my baby mine. Then some other fool will win her, and the game is lost. So each day I shout across the line. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone. And tell me I'm your own. Come on, baby. Yeah, and we have a request. Henry VIII, and replace a Freebird. Okay. Feeling sorry for Henry VIII getting passed up a couple times there, huh? I'm Henry VIII, I am Henry VIII, I am. I got married to the woman next door. She's been married 7 times before, and all of them named Henry. Henry, she never will learn a sum. No sum. I'm a eighth old man. Henry VIII, I am. Second verse, same as the first. I'm Henry if I am, Henry if I am, I am. I got married to the woman next door. She's been married 7 times before, and all of them named Henry. Henry, she never will learn a sum. No sum. I'm a eighth old man, Henry if I am. Oh, I'm Henriette, I am Henriette, I am. I got married to the woman next door. She's been married 7 times before, and all that I'm named Henry. Henry should never will learn a sum. No sum. I'm Henriette old man. Henriette, I am. Henry. 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 Henriette, I am. I am. Henriette, I am. Yeah. There's your Henry VIII. Oh, they're all randomly done and on the wheel. That's the whole reason why I set it up, because I can never really seem to decide which songs I want to do. That song is as old as I am, literally. Well, I do stick to singing songs that are in the public domain, really. So pretty much all of the songs I will sing are very old songs. So if you want to request the song like Freebird, I will do a spoken word version of that, which is more along the lines of which I try and do overly dramatic, sort of a William Shatner version of the song. I don't quite do the William Shatner voice though. I don't have that ability. I don't know. Well, let's see here. Ah, yes, here's some. Let's see here. Close up some of the stuff I got opened up here. All right, in some more news on Gundam, because that's the theme for the day. Mobile Suit Gundam 8. This is a new anime that will be, or a new manga that will be released published in Gundam Ace, is to celebrate the magazine's 20th anniversary. This will be released on the 26th, and it's an ongoing series. The synopsis here is the Earth, the third planet of the solar system, because we didn't know that. In the cradle of humanity, he is time he marched on, and from humanity's birth, Earth breakthroughs in science and biotechnology promised this end suffering and conflict, ushering in an age of everlasting prosperity. Or so it was believed. Now the year is constant in calendar, or 2030. The Earth once humanity's sanctuary, it tears on the brink of collapse. Only 258 survivors remain. That doesn't sound like a sustainable population for humans. And with them, a single Gundam. At the heart of it all was the newly revealed Gundam Zurius. Zirius? Zurius? Huh. The story is lead mobile suit. With sharp edges, heavy armor, and a commanding silhouette, Zurius is built to stand out. And I'm guessing our main protagonist is Naomi Sabaru, which is a guy. A young man enrolled in the 8th training program. Aboard the outer space exploration in vessel, the Atlantis, with average score in every evaluation category. That sounds like a protagonist. Ends up becoming a standout, I guess. Let's have a look at the some of the armaments on this thing, the EES-001 Gundam Zurius. Not a bad name. Armaments. The EES arms 201 in Beam Saber, a high output energy weapon in that act as the Gundam's melee weapon. This weapon are mounted on each of the Gundam side skirt unit. I have been playing around with adding with my version. I've revamped my own for my storytelling, the double low FX into the Sword Gundam. I'm kind of debating on whether I should add a beam saber to it as a backup weapon, seeing as I've got a bunch of other stuff on it already. The EES Arms 001 beam rifle, a high output in accuracy the portable beam weapon developed by a East End corporation. I guess that's what the EE stands for. EES-MS series. He's had high accuracy for long-range combat. This particular, particular beam weapon can be configured for normal, mid, and ranged mode thanks to its variable mechanism. And of course, the EES Arms 5001 shield, specialized lightweight protective equipment developed by the East End Corporation and for the EES MS series that had high heat and high impact resistance capabilities. The shield's sharp top can also be used for melee attacks if the situation demands. And special equipment and features: feather extension, a special equipment based on the research data gathered from the alien codenamed Mother Swan. That act as the Gundam's heat sink. It also can be used to control numerous amount of crystal-like objects and use it as I don't think the person who wrote this speaks English. It uses it as a flying blade type weapon against the kaiju forces. Oh, there's kaiju in this one. I hope they turn this one into an anime then. Despite the impressive capabilities of this equipment, it also caused most physical strain into the Gundam pilot after prolonged usage. As self-repair, a special nanomechanism that allows the Gundam to repair any damage it suffers to a certain extent. It is unknown whether this feature is exclusive to the Gundam Zurius or all EES Gundam type MS equipment equipped with this particular feature. Or they just don't know if it's just this one or if it's all of the ESS Gundams. And hard points. These are just basically slots for storing equipment. So let's get a little look at some of this stuff here. So that's the beam rifle there. Not bad design. Oh, I like those Gundams. I built a couple back. Oh, you built a couple back in the day, yeah. I never really got into the model building of it aspect of it, actually. But they do look like they'd be fun to build. The 258 Hate Survivor is one Gundam. Look at the shield here. So that's the shield. I'm guessing this part here is the sharp part that can be used as a weapon. This actually would be neat if this part here would be able to extend out as sort of like the Buster Shield from the Gundam Wing series could do. So they could have like this impact point. Maybe like bring this to a point here, then have it as an impact weapon with a sharp point. I think that would be pretty cool. We'll add addition for that shield. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like we just got a bunch of shots from the manga. Yeah, might as well just take a look at one of the shots from the manga. So this will be released in the 26th for anyone who wants to keep their eye out for it. I imagine it might be a while before we get any English mistranslations of it. Oh, hello, Stark of Iron, and thanks for showing up. Let's see here. Now, there was a new series that was recently released. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. It has a really funky name to it. So that one is that. Now, I was kind of sitting here scratching my head as to exactly how the hell do you pronounce what looks like a cat stepping on your keyboard? Apparently it's pronounced G Quux. Sort of like cucks, but with a Q. So it's G Quux. So why it's drawn out with... How many U's are in this thing anyway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 U's. Most of them are apparently silent. That's what the synopsis on this thing is. Amata Maria is a high school student living peacefully in a space colony. Floating in outer space when she meets a girl named Nayan. Nayan. Amata is drawn into the illegal mobile suit dueling sport known as Clan Battle. Under the entry name Machu, she throws herself into fierce battle day after day, piloting the G Quux. Then an unidentified Gundam mobile suit pursued by both the Space Force and the police appear before her, along with its pilot, a boy named Shuji. Now their world is about to enter a new era. Actually, kind of sounds a little boring. But I'll give this thing a watch and see what I think about it. I mean, the Gundams themselves look pretty nice. They kind of look like more up-to-date versions of some of the original ones that they had, which, from my understanding, this is based on a sort of an alternate timeline in where Zeon won the war, is from what I heard. So, and that is out right now, so you can go watch that if you want to go find it. Good luck spelling it. So it's GQ, 6 U's and an X. Although I've seen it spelt with fewer U's. And I'm kind of running out of material here. I think Gundam looks a little like Alistair. Or is that just me? Or yes, I think somebody wants the demon's attention. Well, let's do one more song to send things off with, huh? 'Cause I don't really have much else to really go over here. In my regards to Broadway. Okay. Did you ever see two Yankees part upon open shore? When the good ship's just about to start for old New York once more? With tear-dimmed eyes they say goodbye, they're friends without a doubt. When the man on the pier shouts, "Let them clear," as the ship strikes out. Give my regards to Broadway, remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Give my regards to Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. Say hello to dear old Coney Island if there you chance to be. When you're at the wardrobe, have a smile and charge it up to me. Mention my name every place you go, it's around the town you roam. What you call on my gal. Now remember, old pal, when you get back home. Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Give my regards to Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. Thinking about it, let's do one more her song. This one, considering the war themes of some of the violence and stuff, with this should be work. This should work. Let's try see if I can get words in the right order. And what is it that will put America in the forefront of the nuclear nations? And what is it that will make it possible to spend $20 billion of your money to put some clown on the moon? Well, it's good old American know-how, that's what. That's provided by good old Americans like Dr. Werner von Braun. Gather round while I sing you of Werner von Braun, a man whose allegiance is ruled by expedience. Call him a Nazi, he won't even frown. Nazi schnazi, says Werner von Braun. Don't say that he's hypocritical. Say that rather that he's apolitical. Once the rockets go up, who cares where they come down? It's not my department, says Werner von Braun. Some have harsh words for this man of renown, but some think our attitude should be one of gratitude. Excuse me, that. Like the widows and cripples in a London town, who owe their large pensions to Werner von Braun. You too may be a big hero once you learn to count backwards to 0. In German and English, I know how to count down, and I'm learning Chinese, says Werner von Braun. Had to have my voice crack in the middle of that. Darn it. Well, I still haven't really practiced this one, so let's give it a shot. We'll all go together when we go. When you tend a funeral, it is said you think that sooner or later that you will do the same for you. You may have thought it tragic, not to mention other adjectives, to think of all the weeping they will do. But don't you worry. No more ashes, no more sackcloths, no more armbands made of black cloth will someday never more adorn a sleeve. For if the bomb that drops on you gets your friends and neighbors too, there'll be nobody left behind to grieve. And we'll all go together when we go. What a comforting fact it is to know. Universal bereavement, an inspirational achievement. Yes, we'll all go together when we go. We will all go together when we go. All suffered you with incandescent glow. No one will have the endurance to collect in their insurance. Lords of London will be loaded when they go. Oh, we will all fry together when we fry. We'll be French fried potatoes by and by. There'll be no more misery with the world is our rotisserie. Yes, we will fry together when we fry. Down by the old maelstrom, there'll be a storm before the calm, and we will all bake together when we bake. There'll be nobody present at the wake. With complete participation, the grand incineration in nearly 3 billion hunks of well done steak. Oh, we will all char together when we char, and let there be no mourning of the bar. You sing out in tandem with if you see the ICBM, and the party will become as you are. Oh, we will all burn together when we burn. There'll be no need to stand and wait your turn. When it's time for the fallout, the St. Peter calls us all out. We'll just drop up our agendas and adjourn. You will see you'll go direct to your respective Valhallas. Go directly, do not pass go, do not collect $200, and we will all go together when we go. Every Hottentot and every Eskimo. When the air becomes Uranus, yes, will go simultaneous. Yes, we'll all go together. So we'll all go together. So we'll all go together when we go. Still not the best rendition of it, but I'm getting better, I think. But I will see you guys later. Actually, hold on. Before I sign out, I should pass you on to somebody else who will be playing here. Let's see here. They are playing. Here we are. We got Theta of the Grid here. There is Theta's link to it. He is going to be doing his Cosmic Theta Theater, destroy all planets Gamera versus Verus, and Gamera the Brave tonight. So a nice double feature for you guys to enjoy. And that'll be coming up in less than 15 minutes. So give you guys a little chance to have a bathroom break. We'll see you guys next time. And hopefully I'll have more of this show for it.